Le damos las buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
¿Todo bien?
Todo bien, por suerte.
Obviamente para presentar documentales como todos los viernes, en este caso un documental muy particular porque habla sobre los niños, esas pobres personitas que son afectadas por muchísimas cosas, pero en este caso por la publicidad, porque el documental además se llama Hijos del Consumo.
Es verdad, y llega hoy porque es 28 de diciembre, también Día de los Inocentes.
Justamente.
Muchas veces son los niños los que son inocentes y no quienes llevan adelante ciertas campañas. Y de eso se trata este documental que se mete en el tema de cómo está concebida la publicidad para niños y realmente muestra un panorama que es tremendo, pero que vale la pena que uno lo ignore y que vale la pena conocer.
¿Podemos comenzar a verlo?
Vamos a ver el primer tape, que es un cuadro de situación. ¿Cómo está? ¿Por qué? ¿Cuántos niños hay? ¿Cuánto capital se mueve? Bueno, un poco de eso trata este primer fragmento.
Dale.
Not since the end of World War II, at the height of the baby boom, have there been so many kids in our midst. There are now more than 52 million kids under 12 in all in the United States, the biggest burst in the U.S. youth population in half a century. And for American business, these kids have come to represent the ultimate prize. An unprecedented, powerful, and elusive new demographic to be cut up and captured at all costs. There's no doubt that marketers have their sights on kids because of their increasing buying power, the amount of money they now spend on everything from clothes to music to electronics, totaling some $40 billion every year. But perhaps a bigger reason for marketers' interest in kids may be the amount of adult spending that American kids under 12 now directly influence, an astronomical $700 billion a year, roughly the equivalent of the combined economies of the world's 115 poorest countries.
One economic impact of children is the money that they themselves spend. The money that they get from their parents or grandparents, the money that they get as allowance when they get older, the money that they earn themselves. That is an increasingly significant amount of money. But that's not where the real money is. Marketers and advertisers have realized that the real money related to the children's market is in their purchasing influence.
Any questions? Jared, does it do any tricks? Does that work for you?
Because of their purchasing power and because of their purchasing influence, marketers and advertisers have become much more deliberate in their strategies and attempts to how to influence those dollars.
Sienna, because kids come first.
It's the children who often determine what kind of car gets bought, what kind of computer gets bought, what kind of cell phone program, and even where they take family holidays.
What's your favorite part of the Nick Hotel?
The awesome pools, having my own room, the arcade rocks. I like the shops. I like eating with SpongeBob.
We came on vacation and the kids don't ever want to leave.
Most parents and other people just don't realize how corporate marketers intentionally try to, well, in essence, make parents absolutely miserable. Corporate marketers have actually studied the whole nagging phenomenon, which corporations do nagging better, and they provide advice to corporations about, what kinds of tantrums work better.
Children sometimes say, can I, as much as 9 times.
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
No.
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
No!
And part of the nag factor is designed to help maximize the number of times children will keep asking and keep asking.
No!
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore? Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
If I take you, will you two shut up and quit bugging me?
Yeah, of course. Well, will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
Yes!
Thanks, Dad.
So these kids have a lot of power in the economy. The advertisers know it, and they are going after them in a way that is unprecedented.
Que target los niños, ¿no?
Es verdad. Y escenas que uno se las puede ver replicadas.
Obviamente.
Fácilmente. Bueno, pero el documental, como decimos, también hace un repaso histórico y no siempre fue así. Siempre hay un momento de quiebre que es una desregularización del mercado de la publicidad. Hasta los años 70 tenía como incidencia, había un comité que trabajaba, que podía establecer ciertas reglas, y eso queda dejado de lado para darle paso al mercado.
Claro.
Algo que se escucha y cada vez se escucha más, que el mercado regula todo. Bueno, también en este tema entran las reglas del mercado, y si te parece podemos ver otro tape que habla de ese periodo. Es Reagan acá el que da levanta la banderilla.
Muy bien, lo vemos.
And the masters of the universe.
Suddenly, it became okay to create a television program for the sole purpose of selling a toy.
No one can stop the spike-studded armor of the mighty Spikor. Not even me, you muscle-bound porcupine. Not even you, B-Man.
And sure enough, in the year immediately following the congressional action, the 10 best-selling toys were all based on kids' television shows. It was the beginning of a new era for childhood marketing.
A few years after deregulation, when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie came out, awesome! There were over 1,000 products linked to the movie. There was also the TV show children were seeing every day, and there was the comic book that slightly older children started to look at. It was a saturation of the whole childhood culture.
Well, when I was a kid, Hopalong Cassidy was on television. He was like one of the first children's programming.
Here he comes! Here he comes!
It was only after he became so successful that they developed the lunchbox. Now they developed the lunchbox and the dolls before.
The Star Wars Ultimate Lightsaber.
I mean, this is why people like George Lucas has said, I am not a film director. I am a toy maker.
Everything's Star Wars.
Chewbacca is recording ringtones for a cell phone company. Star Wars, the marketing force, has married its name to a pile of products, including masks, dolls, lightsabers, hats, snacks, cups, more snacks, wind-up toys, action figures, cereal, and even a best-selling book.
And so, with deregulation, a new world had been opened to marketers. Free now to turn the most powerful emotional attachments of kids into unheard-of profits.
Beneficiarse sin corazón es la última frase,
claro,
de lo que en realidad busca, es el objetivo final.
Sí, queda bien claro que el objetivo es el dinero, y bueno, y si hay que hacer lo que sea por el dinero, se hace. Y hay ejemplos, y este documental los presenta, ejemplos, como vamos a ver, de una agencia de inteligencia para niños, niñas. Hay trabajos de neuromarketing, donde, bueno, al niño, a bebés
se lo programa.
No, se les pone un casco. ¿Sí? Es la última imagen del próximo fragmento lo va a mostrar, donde se le pone un casco y se le toma la resonancia magnética del cerebro según diferentes estímulos. Es tremendo.
Lavado de cerebro le llaman, ¿no?
No, claro, lavado de cerebro, por lo menos obtener información del cerebro, del propio niño, y en función de eso, bueno, elaborar un producto, obtener resultados, decir, bueno, vamos por tal color, vamos por tal figura, vamos por tal tipo de letra. También se habla de, por ejemplo, las figuras tienen que ser redondeadas, no angulosas, responde mejor, se les controla el parpadeo de los niños y, por ejemplo, se los somete a una pantalla y esta persona tiene que estar mirando. Cuando se le registra, cuando deja de mirar, y a partir de eso, bueno, cambian también el... es...
Qué inocentes que somos, ¿eh?
Sí, y qué inocente y cuánto ignoramos de todo esto, porque también uno es inocente porque lo ignora, digo, porque... Y el poder ver estas cosas presenta por lo menos estar alerta, siempre es eso lo que decimos. Vamos a ver justamente una empresa modelo para el marketing.
Un modelo a seguir.
Exacto.
It's creepy. It's just absolutely creepy, the way children are being dissected and put under the microscope by marketers.
This is new consumer science, and it's yielding a new science of childhood. And perhaps nowhere else have the different elements of this science merged so seamlessly as in the Girls' Intelligence Agency.
Not the CIA, it's the Girls' Intelligence Agency, which, for all the cloak and dagger, is actually a marketing firm.
The Girls' Intelligence Agency claims to have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of girls across the country that it is in contact with and working with. The signature product of the GIA is something called the Slumber Party in a Box.
Guys, sacred opening of the cake.
Kids are asked to sort of push a certain product, or they're more like focus group parties where kids are asked to come and give their opinions on products.
What is the hottest item, the sleep mask, the fuzzy phone, or the beauty kits? Fuzzy phone.
They ask them to be sly. They ask them to get information on their friends without their friends knowing about it. It's teaching children to exploit their friends for the purpose of getting money or free products.
What happened at your home the other day, marketing, or was it a party?
It's kind of both. It was a party for us, but it was marketing for the companies.
And is that cool with you?
Definitely.
One of the more problematic aspects of its behavior is that it will enlist young children in its marketing efforts without their parents knowing about it.
There's a lot that's happening around us, and the public is not aware, just like they're not aware of neuromarketing.
Tremendo.
¿Qué me cuenta?
Tremendo. La CIA es un poroto al lado de esto.
Sí, bueno, ese es el germen de todo esto. Y bueno, es lo que uno lo ve también en la industria publicitaria. Digo, yo he tenido oportunidad de estar trabajando y uno ve cuando llevan a los niños para hacer reclames y eso es con el consentimiento de los padres.
De los padres.
Acá se dice que bueno, que los padres ignoran y puede ser que ignoren parte o hasta qué punto se llega, pero bueno, también hay testimonios de empresarias que trabajan en el marketing que uno le dejan la sangre helado. También hay información sobre la salud, cómo se resignó también el espacio de juego, el juego al aire libre, y tratando de que bueno, sea a través de pantallas donde a través de internet, por ejemplo, se dan ejemplos de publicidad dirigida, que es mucho más fácil, es mucho más controlable, es muy completo. El documental es muy dinámico también, es entretenido, no es un documental lento.
¿Sí?
No, todo lo contrario. Vamos a ver otra beta que también surge, que son canales educativos, pero para bebés, que se promocionan como muy útiles.
Y muy buenos para el niño chiquito,
claro,
que definitivamente no lo terminan siendo así.
Claro, no, el informe lo tira por tierra eso, y creo que son más bien útiles para el padre o que se desentienden del niño. Es ese lugar que se le deja muchas veces a la televisión, porque bueno, por falta de tiempo y también por comodidad, hay que decirlo. Vamos a ver un fragmento en este sentido de los canales educativos o pretendidamente educativos.
The majority of parents think if they don't put their kids in front of media early and often, that they are going to be behind other kids.
And even as this industry has been making big educational claims, it's been making even bigger profits. Sales of infant videos and DVDs purporting to be educational are expected to reach $7.8 billion by 2010.
After her daughter was born, Julie Eigner Clark searched for ways to share her love of music and art with her child. So she borrowed some equipment and began filming children's videos in her basement. The Baby Einstein Company was born, and in just 5 years, her business grew to more than $20 million in sales. Julie Eigner Clark.
This is a billion-dollar industry that is a complete and total scam. There's no evidence that a baby watching a DVD is learning anything.
educational videos aimed at babies may not be such a bright idea after all. A new study found that children who watch popular DVDs like Baby Einstein and Brainy Baby actually have poorer vocabularies. One researcher even said she'd rather have babies watch American Idol.
The American Academy of Pediatrics has now for 7 years recommended that there be no screen media use for children under the age of 2. And this is for some very specific reasons. First of all, there is no solid scientific research evidence that children under the age of 30 months or 2.5 years can learn anything from an electronic screen. A lot of media early may in fact change the way the brain develops.
3 new studies out tonight are the latest to suggest that heavy television watching can hurt children's ability to learn.
The more television infants and toddlers watch, the greater the chance they'll have trouble paying attention and concentrating during their very early school years.
Researchers say hours spent in front of the TV only trains the brain to watch more TV. A child weaned on bright colors and rapidly changing images will find it tough to focus on a teacher or homework.
Son carne de cañón, también, también
sí,
son carne de cañón.
También, sí, es así. Quizás era, no es el mejor video para cerrar un año, pero estas cosas,
pero
como
es
siempre
real,
decimos,
es muy real.
Claro, estas cosas que no tienen, que no hay acceso, que la gente no se entera, bueno, ese es el intento y ese es el esfuerzo de esta columna.
¿Algo más sobre este documental, Flavio?
No, que cuesta un poco conseguirlo, pero se puede rastrear en la web y que vale la pena y que bueno, y además agradecerle, y esto aparte que no tiene nada que ver con el documental, agradecerle a toda la gente del canal, a la gente de control, a la gente que hace tareas que jamás se verán en cámaras, pero bueno, que todo el mundo trabaje y eso quiero agradecerlo.
Flavio, ha sido un placer tenerte un nuevo año aquí con nosotros.
Muchas gracias.
Vamos a seguir además juntos. Muchísimas gracias por haber estado, por mostrarnos documentales de todo el mundo con una sensibilidad muy particular que es de destacar. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Hacemos la pausa. Ya venimos. Feliz 2013 además. Ya venimos.
La hija del